How many of you get angry once in a while? Not all the time. Nobody gets angry all the time. Nobody gets angry all the time. How many on an average once a day? And anger in different forms. It could be subtle, just in my mind. It could be a little irritation. It could be a little louder words. And sometimes it can even come out in my actions. Sometimes it could just be the way I look at someone. I have to say nothing, but my eyes say it all. Now, let me ask myself, when I'm angry, am I weak or am I powerful? Really? Sure? Because out there in the world we would say anger is power. When I lose control over my own self, when my words are not the way they should be, when I have to regret my words and sometimes even apologize later on saying, I didn't mean to say this. Ever said this line to anybody? I didn't mean to say this. Now when I'm saying I didn't mean to say this, which means I wanted to say something else, I've said something else, so I have no power over myself. And sometimes lack of power over my thoughts, sometimes lack of power over my words, and then sometimes lack of power over my hands. My hands. Sometimes I can just lift something. All incidents of road rage are lack of power for those 30 seconds. But I lost control over my mind, my words, my hands. It's natural to get angry, right? Or do I have a choice? Do I get angry? I create anger, or I choose to get angry? How many of you choose and then get angry? Yes or no? It just happens. Now, when I say it just happens, which means it just happens. Think. Awakening is this. Awakening to a lot of belief systems. And awakening from a lot of belief systems which are actually not the truth, but I heard it, people lived it, I absorbed it, and I'm living my life saying, anger just happens. I don't choose to create anger. Anger is necessary, anger is normal, anger is useful. Just check. We choose to get angry, and that's why there are some people in front of whom we are very comfortable using this tool of anger, and there are some in front of whom we will not use this tool of anger, right? Right? And which means I choose that I can create anger in front of her, I cannot there. So I'm choosing. We've still not reached a stage where we've not reached that stage where it's just happening. We are consciously choosing when, where, with whom, how much, for how long. Yes? Check yourself. We are choosing. So we are still in the stage where we are choosing, and which means we have the power to make another choice. When I create anger, my inner peace and inner power, lost? Simple. Who gets affected more? The one who creates anger or the one who's consuming the anger? Acha? Sure. Both. Okay. Who's getting affected more? Emotionally, physically? Visualize a scene. Which side are you? Here or here? Which side? The one who's creating the anger. Let's change the vocabulary. We're not getting angry, we're creating anger. Because once I understand I'm creating anger, then I tell myself I also have the choice of creating something else. I have the choice of what I'm creating. So here is one, creating the anger. Here is the other, for whom it is being created. Who's getting affected more? Creator? But it was supposed to happen for this person. But it's affecting this person. Over a period of time can create a very powerful immunity system. Can. Especially people with whom you're working, and over a period of time they're used to your patterns, and you can get angry and they can just look there and say, okay, next 5-10 minutes. And they can smile at each other and say, it's okay. So they are not allowing that anger to affect them. The one for whom it is being created has a choice whether to take it or not to take it. If I shout at you here, you have a choice whether to get disturbed, whether to get hurt, whether to shout back, whether to start crying, and whether to not get affected at all. So many options. Who has all these options? She has all these options. But I, the creator, whether I get affected or no, I don't have an option. Because I have created that energy. And so it's here and it's here. She has an option how much to absorb it. The receiver has a choice. The radiator doesn't have a choice. The radiator has a choice of what to create, but once created, I don't have a choice whether I will get affected by it or no. So who's getting affected more? So we are going to feel sorry for? Normally we feel sorry for? Visualize a scene. Here is this person gone totally out of control, shouting, screaming. Here is this soft little quiet city. And we say, Bichara. Poor fellow. Who's the bichara? Who is the poor fellow? Not this. This one. Why? Losing peace, losing power. The one who is a loser, losing strength, we will say, poor fellow, bichara. Shift of focus. Now, I can be in either of these two positions. Sometimes here, sometimes here. Now in both the positions, I have to decide, what do I have to do so that I can conserve my peace and power? One, today, homework. If I'm here, this side, and I know that I am the one who's losing my peace and my power, then I am going to ask myself a simple question, why am I using this option? Why would anybody use an option in which they are going to lose something? What all do we lose when we create anger? What all do I lose when I create anger? Peace, strength, power, physical health, energy, what else? Happiness. Anything else? Sister, if I say something very rude to you right here in front of 1,000 people, how long would you take to forget it? Never. Now this is where it's getting risky. I may create the anger for just 30 seconds or a minute or two. So I feel I've depleted my inner power only for a minute or two, because I just shouted at her for a minute and then I'm fine. So I depleted power for a minute. So battery went here. She says, I don't plan to forget it for a lifetime. Now, if she doesn't plan to forget the wound that gets created today for a lifetime, so every time she's going to think about me, quality of energy, quality of energy. Every time she talks to somebody about me, and so then I'm not receiving those painful and negative vibrations just from her, but I'm going to receive it from everyone to whom she talks about me. And so she goes and tells her, do you know what? This is the way she spoke to me today. And she says, oh, she's like this only. So these are all the blessings that I get from people. Now just visualize. If one person only keeps sending me negative energy, what will happen to this battery? And then one more, and then one more, and then one more. And now if this battery keeps depleting, the chances of me creating anger, the weaker I get, the lesser power, so the more I get angry. Now the more I get angry, the more blessings I get. The more blessings I get, cycle. Now this becomes a vicious cycle in which I'm depleting my strength. Opposite. She's made a mistake. She was expecting, and here I am, understanding, assertive, but compassionate, forgiving. How long will she take to forget that? How long will she take to forget that? That is also an investment which has a lifelong return. This is also an investment which has a lifelong return. Now just take care of what investment you want to make every day.